Reaction content on YouTube was huge at one point in time, but now it seems like the only time the audience wants to watch reaction videos is either on TikTok or if streamers are watching stuff on stream while the viewer is watching it with them live. The genre isn't completely dead on YouTube, but it is definitely far from the peak that it once had. The Fine Bros were pioneers of the genre, giving the audience a wide range of characters that would react to different videos, like teens react, elders react, and kids react. It seemed like the Fine Bros figured out an unlimited money glitch by pivoting themselves to all different demographics, which did end up working for a few years. But just as quickly as their blowup was, the downfall of their channel was even quicker. But before we get into the video about the Fine Bros and about their channel, I wanted to say thank you so much for all of the love and support that I got in the last video, and everybody saying that they're happy that I was back and posting again. It made me feel really good, and I really wanted to say thank you, especially because I haven't posted in so long, and when I came back, I was kind of nervous that the views or that you guys wouldn't really notice me anymore. I know I'm a pick-me. But I want to say thank you, and here are some of the comments that are on the screen right now, and I just want to say thank you to every single one of you guys that did end up commenting. I know not everybody is going to be up here, but I do want to say I appreciate it. And I wanted to say that our like goal for this video is going to be 1,000 because the like goal for last video was 500 and we smashed it. And make sure to hype it up as well. Now, the Fine Bros consist of two brothers, Benny and Rafi Fine, who created the channel in 2007, which feels like absolutely centuries ago. Now, even though they created the channel and did have a few videos with them appearing in them, Benny and Rafi pivoted to a different direction. Benny and Rafi focused on reaction videos primarily involving kids. This pivot happened in 2010 when jumpy sketch comedy was big on the platform.
1, 2, 3. Oh my god, it's cold! I love the winning!
Or videos like this.
And you are walking her home. I don't know, if somebody is trying to rob her, just let them. You don't want to get involved in that. Just act like you're not there. Just be like this. Oh, you're robbing her? You need some help? You need some help?
I know that's cringy, I'm sorry. I had to put it in. But the Fine Bros tried something different with their reactions. It was stationary, in a studio with decent quality for its time, and people really started to like it. I think the audience really liked how kids would react to certain situations because it gave the issue some kind of nuance to it. Like looking at the situation with the kid's mentality who doesn't really know much and isn't wise enough to understand the differences or the seriousness. As they continued to post these videos, their audience would grow and grow, and eventually they would create spin-off shows that were focused on other demographics and their thinking towards certain topics, like teens react, elders react, and eventually YouTubers react. The Fine Bros were blowing up, and they started to get recognition for the shows they were creating. Again, audiences really liked them. In an interview in 2011, the Fine Bros said that their reasoning for creating the React channel was because of their religious background and how kids were able to speak their mind. They said, quote, "We've always had a passion for championing people's individuality and giving them a voice. So we wanted to make a show that could give people an outlet to share their opinions that could have an audience learn, laugh, and even cry along with them bearing the topic." The Fine Bros told the Daily Dot via email, "This comes from our religious upbringing that hindered our ability to be who we wanted to become, and a lot of our content, scripted and unscripted, reflect the idea of embracing who you are." They also went on to say, "Even when you look beyond the ultra serious subject matter, you can find elements of deep discussion in almost every episode of the series, which is part of what these shows are all about, and is what has made them successful, which is shedding light on tough issues and getting a conversation started, something we don't do nearly enough. We handle the topics with objectivity and care in hopes to connect with the viewers and have it leave a lasting resonance." Now, obviously, when you are doing something well, you are always going to get people who imitate the brand. You know the saying, imitation is the best form of flattery. This is what people started to do. Reaction content started to blow up on YouTube after the Fine Bros did the genre so successfully, so people started to do the same thing that they were doing, turning on a video and reacting to it on camera. And some of these reaction channels, I'd say, were doing it even better than the Fine Bros. Reaction videos, if they were done well enough, had an identity. These creators showed an actual personality, and it built their fan base and their loyalty towards one creator. See, unlike Benny and Rafi, who were never on camera and cycled through a cast of reactors and really didn't have an identity or one solo reactor, people like Jinx and others who could captivate an audience built on that aspect. I mean, eventually Jinx and other creators, like BHD, started to get really lazy with their format, but so did the Fine Bros, so it's not really much of a difference. The issue I saw emerging was that people would like a few of their cast members, but because they were only on screen for a total of a few minutes, no one really saw their true personalities. So even though they liked the reactors, the audience couldn't know them more than their reactions, which started to make the content feel soulless. But that's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comments down below. Now, as time went on, the channel was still growing, but the views started to grow stagnant. The audiences of Kids React, Teens React, and Elders React started to grow out of the content. But then Benny and Rafi tried to finesse every single reaction content creator on YouTube by trying to trademark the word react and reaction, which meant that if you had the word reaction or react in your title, then the brothers could claim the whole entire video. This was a pretty terrible situation, and it left creators feeling pressured to quit the genre altogether because they felt like this was an end to the content that they were making. But I've been an avid YouTube watcher for a long time. I'm Unk status, I'm 28 years old. And I know for a fact that if you do something that the audience hates, then they will turn on you instantly. Again, I've been on the YouTube platform for a long time. If I saw somebody doing something bad, then I would instantly turn on them too. And it's not that people have turned on me being a YouTuber, it's more like me turning on other people. But yeah, that's just how it goes. So just as quickly as they made the first announcement,
and we are so grateful to have experienced this with all of you who've been with us for years, as well as new people who join the Fine family every day.
And it's because of all your support that we're now announcing this big thing that will bring us closer than ever before by creating a new way for us to create content together. This is not only a huge step for our company, but for the entire global media industry.
Ever since React first debuted over 5 years ago, we saw the impact of the series. The franchise has grown beyond our wildest imagination, and it's been humbling to see the impact it's had on the world.
We strive with React to be making episodes that will not just be interesting and entertaining now, but live on forever as a time capsule even 100 years from now that people can look back at what various generations were saying about culture and the issues of our time.
So you're wasting your time going on the internet, going to the comments, and typing some racial slur for a Cheerios commercial.
But what has been missing is how to expand React further to communities across the world, which we know for years is something all of you have wanted, and we wanted too.
We've realized that the way to make that happen is by having the people who helped React become a global phenomenon be the ones to make the shows with us, and that's all of you.
We are excited to announce React World, which is a first of its kind program that allows people and companies to license all our popular shows online so that anyone, even you watching right now, can create your own versions in a fully legal way and be part of a new and exciting global community.
In entertainment industry terms, when you create a version of a show based on someone else's format, this is called licensing, which many TV shows have done over time. For example, Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent. It's the same show format, but licensed legally to be created in other locations. So with React World, we've created a new way to license formats in the digital age.
And unlike in TV where you have to pay huge amounts up front, we're providing the license with no upfront fees. Instead, we're sharing revenue with you after you start uploading. Along with the license, we're going to be giving you a bunch of resources to help you create the shows, make money, and get featured and promoted by us in various ways. Find out more in the links below.
Part of why we believe this initiative is important is due to witnessing many creators, ourselves included, having their shows and formats blatantly stolen by companies and people, both online and on television. And we implore everyone not to support those companies and channels. When you notice someone ripping someone's format off, don't stand for it.
We have been creating shows online for nearly 12 years, and as YouTube and web entertainment has evolved, we've seen the supportive ethos of what so many of us pioneered start going away. As digital media has become more corporate, the spirit of wanting to do things differently than traditional Hollywood has started to dissipate, but our company has never lost that spirit.
With React World, we're providing a way for people to make their own versions of our shows and do it with us. By licensing our formats and trademarks, everyone will know that you're doing this legally with our company's guidance.
We are so motivated for this. To know that our formats can inspire millions of people and opening that up for all of you to have the chance to do the same is as exciting as anything we have ever done before. And we look forward to the time when we can look back to this moment, to this video with all of you, knowing that this was when we all stood together, changed the way things were done, and created this first of its kind global community.
So if you're interested in creating your own version of any of our React formats, which if you don't, then what is wrong with you? Click the link, get the information, and sign up today. We can't wait to work with so many of you and change the world together.
The Brothers had to make another announcement pretty much apologizing, but not apologizing for a ridiculous scam or trademarking the word reaction or react, but apologizing that they may have confused the audience and that they weren't really intending on trademarking the word, but it was just all a lie.
Screwed up with how we originally talked about this.
First and foremost, we're sorry for confusing people by using terminology like our React format. We were never trying to say that every video where someone reacts to something else is something we would try to control. When we referenced licensing the React format, we only meant our specific series, not the overall genre of reaction videos. We do not own the genre.
And we're creators at heart, and those who know us personally know how passionate we are about trying to help creators, and React World is meant to be an extension of that, with us simply providing resources and tools to anyone who wants to go down this path of creating one of our series with direct support from us.
So there's no way to go into all of the questions that people have about this, but we're going to answer some of the biggest ones that we've seen.
Okay, so first is what exactly constitutes any of your series formats? And the simple answer is watch any of our series that is part of the React World license, and that is the exact format. It's not one or two elements, it's all of the elements of the show, all used in the same style and way.
We've been trying to find an analogy to explain this better, and we know that this isn't the best, but if you wanted to start a fast food restaurant, you can start one on your own and possibly find huge success. But if you love Burger King and want to be part of that organization, if you join, you'd be able to get access to things like menu items and recipes and specific logos and promotional support. And these are two totally different routes. Same kind of thing here with React World. You can join and get all these assets and support, or you can make your own reaction videos completely without us. It's up to you.
Okay, so another question is, have you applied for any trademarks? Yes. We have trademarks just like other companies that use trademarks to protect their properties. So for example, we have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/react. So we're trying to protect it and not run the risk of losing our channel name thanks to someone else getting the trademark. But just because we have or might get trademarks doesn't mean we're going to run around and start taking down videos.
And the last thing we're going to talk about is if there has ever been a situation where we had to take down someone's video. Yes. And look, when you create series and products, sometimes there is specific situations where your content is being infringed. Like if someone freeboots a video on Facebook, or in very rare cases, if someone produces a beat-by-beat version of your exact series, which has happened to us.
But again, with this one and all of these, it's very, very complex. And we also know that there's so many more questions that you guys have, and we want to do our best to answer as many of them as possible. So we've set up an email that we will be personally checking if you want more clarification. So please write us at askthefinebros@gmail.com.
For our viewers who are not really part of this conversation and just here to watch our videos, thanks for sticking with us through this. And for everyone else, we want to continue the conversation, but either way, we just wanted to thank everyone for hearing us out.
They were the original gaslighters, and they really tried to backpedal out of the situation that they put themselves in. Now, in all my years of seeing this, I'm seriously wondering why people around them didn't speak up and say something like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this because it's a terrible idea and people will hate you forever for it. I just don't understand it. Maybe they were surrounded by a lot of yes men, but I just feel like there should have been somebody there to tell them like, hey, you shouldn't do this. After this, the Fine Bros saw their subscriber count tank, even after the apology video. So we could all tell that the apology was just so trash. Not to mention that Moist Critical made a video on their initial announcement too, and that really started to lower their subscriber count.
Just take all of your ad revenue for whatever you happen to create that even looks like the Fine Bros format. Now let me just go ahead and explain why this is all just absolute hogwash. They don't explain what their format is. What's their format? They just sit a bunch of people down in front of a computer and film their reaction. Well, isn't that how every single reaction video could possibly go? So where do they decide what's infringing on their format? If you have more than 4 people, 5 people, 1 person, could they do it at 1? They absolutely could make it anything they wanted to. Now, if this was about using their logos and such as your own, I would understand this whole thing, but that's not what this is about. This is about the Fine Bros trying to make money on every single reaction video that gets made, even ones they don't make themselves or have any part in, and just taking down any that might steal viewers away from the Fine Bros. So yeah, this is an obviously horrible thing they're trying to do, and they tried to put a spin on it where it would change the world or some stupid shit, but they're just trying to make more money in a horrible way.
But he wasn't the only one. Boogie2988, before he was hated, also made a video as well speaking about the dangers of the Fine Bros and this trademark controversy.
Have them help aggregate it, help them help promote it so that you can get some of that Fine Brothers money, so you can get some of that React money. Obviously, that's a good thing. No one's going to have a problem with that. The problems people have is threefold, and this is stuff that the Fine Brothers have to work to convince people are not going to be problems. The first is abuse of this system. Once you've trademarked this, once you have the React trademark, once you've managed to corner this, will you use it and abuse it to shut down competitors who are what you consider to be too similar to you? Who is too similar to you? H3, are they too similar? Is iDubbbz too similar? Is I Hate Everything too similar? How do we know that you're not going to punish these guys? Because these guys are getting punished for their fair use content every single day. They do something similar to you, but not too similar to be within fair use or trademark infringement. But they could easily be, you guys could easily convince YouTube that that's the case, and they would be eradicated from the internet before they got to be too big. That's scary for people. Nobody wants to see that to happen to our beloved creators here on YouTube. Prove me right by not removing this video, which uses your video as the basis, okay? Secondly, people are sick of the content, the copyright abuse system here on YouTube. But let's just call it what it is. It's a system that's used to abuse people who are making videos well within fair use. Will this aggregate that problem, or will extend that problem, make it more difficult to create the kind of content that people love to watch? If that's the case, obviously people do not want that to happen. And you are taking a step in that direction. And obviously, and I hate to say this about the Fine Brothers because they're not enemies I ever want to have, but obviously some of this seems hypocritical to a lot of people. A lot of people feel that, you know, you want a chunk of this money. You want 30%, I think it was 30%, I'm not sure if that figure is correct, but you want a percentage of this money, but you're not paying the people whose videos you put in the Fine Brothers entertainment. I don't know if that's true. I've never been in the Fine Brothers video. I've never had them show one of my videos off. I don't know if a check gets cut, but that's something I've read. Other people are afraid that it's hypocritical because you are trying to force a trademark that existed long before you guys ever created content. You've been creating videos for 12 years. Well, I love the 80s and 90s. That was on before. Beavis and Butthead was on in the 80s. They were reacting to things and animating it. That's exactly what you do. The precedence has been set. This trademark isn't yours if it is under the umbrella of reaction. You know, I'm inclined to trust the Fine Brothers here, and I really do want to trust them. But at the end of the day, they're talking about changing the world, and we internet citizens have had enough fucking change. We're tired of it.
And finally, H3H3 made a video as well, also before he was hated.
You guys are all shady. There's no silver lining here. These guys suck. They're greedy, they're shady, they're malicious, and they are not handsome. And if there's a crime in this world greater than that, I don't know what it is, right? Am I right? Actually, they're put together, but it's just a weird thing. Like, this guy could blink a little bit more. This guy needs to, like, do one of these. I don't know if that's how it works. Oh, and do I need to remind you, Mr. Beanie, who wears that shit in every single video, that I'm the beanie guy.
There were a ton of other videos being made which championed a lot of hate for the channel. People felt like it was hypocritical for the Fine Bros to do this when they also steal videos from other people for their own videos. After everything happened, the Fine Bros just continued to upload as if nothing happened. And they were able to do this because they were never on screen. They also deleted any trace of the controversy from the channels to try to sweep the whole entire thing underneath the rug, and it eventually kind of helped. by them deleting everything, but other people who've made videos on them just kept it up, so you couldn't run away from it. Their channel continued to struggle after this though, and for the next 4 years, the channel was on a slow decline, with cast members leaving and the show becoming boring and people not really enjoying it anymore. Now in 2020, things really started to spiral for the brothers. During this year, Shane Dawson was on the fence for all the terrible things that he did in the past. I'm talking about seriously racist things that at the time, people really just started to bring up a lot. But when he was getting exposed, a clip resurfaced with one of the Fine Bros in blackface. This was a terrible look for the Fine Bros, who built their entire career off of being these wholesome brothers who bring in these teens and kids and elders to react to some of the worst things on the internet or some of the best things in the internet to kind of be wholesome. This was not a good look. After this, allegations came out against them for racism and sexism during their videos and in their own workplace, and how they would rarely use people of color for their thumbnails, stating that people or white people got more clicks. Kennedy, who was an ex-reactor for the Fine Bros, posted a video about her experience with them and how she was shocked when she saw the blackface video.
Yes, I did make the decision to leave React along with some of my fellow cast members, and this is my second time leaving the channel. Normally, I would not discuss the circumstances surrounding my departure, but in this case, I do have to speak up, and there are some things that I do need to clarify. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you've probably seen my statement where I mentioned that it was recently brought to my attention that the brothers co-wrote and directed a series of videos in which one of them appeared in blackface. Now, when I found out about these, I was disgusted and I was hurt because I had literally just participated in a video on their channel where I was asked to share my story among many other Black reactors. Some of the people who brought these blackface videos to my attention were under the impression that I knew about these blackface videos and the fact that they didn't acknowledge them or apologize about them publicly before I participated in this Black Lives Matter video. And I'm here to clarify with you that that is not the case. I had no idea about these, and like I said, when I found out, I was just shocked. Because they hadn't acknowledged or publicly addressed or apologized for these videos up until last night, I felt that I was used for performative activism, and that does not sit right with me. I also mentioned in my statement that prior to this video being released, I sent an email to FBE asking for their support in whatever negativity or hate would come my way as a result of speaking out about my experience as a Black person again on the channel, and I received no response. The reason why I sent this email is because I have talked about my experience being a Black person in previous episodes, and there was one where I did get a lot of hate. I got a lot of death threats, and one death threat that I actually had to take seriously because the person knew my address. So I told the staff about this, I told them about the death threats, I told them about the hate that I was getting and the fact that I had to file a police report, and I still got no support. I had to handle everything on my own. 8 hours after I posted my statement on my social media, and well over 24 hours after emailing something really similar, letting FBE know that I was leaving, Benny and Rafi did post a statement on their social media. A few hours after this, in the middle of the night, I did receive an email from the CEO of FBE, who I've never met before. I still have not received an apology or anything from Benny and Rafi directly acknowledging this to me, addressing this towards me, and apologizing to me. I have not heard from them personally.
After this, the Fine Bros responded and wrote a statement which read, "Early in our careers, we set out to make scripted comedy sketches and shorts that were designed to be edgy. In retrospect, it is clear to us that many of them were, in fact, simply offensive and hurtful, and we are deeply ashamed. This includes in 2009, helping make television parodies on YouTube that included Benny portraying African American actors by appearing in blackface. This was inexcusable, never appropriate, and we are profoundly sorry. We have not been those people for a long time. Over the past decade, FBE has tried to use our platform as a force for good, making videos to speak out against racism, sexism, homophobia, and bullying. But while we incorrectly thought that creating content at our company to help and fight against many different kinds of discrimination was enough to make amends, it is clear to us that we should have done more. We owe our colleagues, partners, staff, talent, and fans a frank examination of our past and an admission that, whatever our intentions may have been, we made terrible errors in our judgment. Systematic racism exists in our industry and society today, and we stand firmly with the movement to dismantle it. We have not done enough personally in this mission, and we know that. We will be judged by our actions, not merely our words." In the statement, they also said that they donated to the NAACP. Then, there were more videos from ex-reactors who had terrible experiences with the Fine Bros, especially during 2020 when everybody was on lockdown.
And wouldn't let us speak our mind on a show about speaking our mind. They were on our fucking.
All right, really quick, just because a lot of the comments on my last couple videos have been about this one, let me talk about it really quick. So Shotgun Willie and Troy are saying that their opinions wouldn't get voiced on the channel and it sucked. And yeah, although that is definitely true, it's not the full truth, so let me get into it. They would let us say whatever the hell we wanted, and it was great, but then again, you could definitely tell when they wasn't going to be in the video. Whether you talked too long, or you cursed, or you said something just a little bit controversial, they would not put it in the video at all. And because we're not on the editing side of things, we don't know what's going to be put into the video. So by the time it gets posted and put online, I can watch the video and discover that I'm completely cut out of the video. And if you guys have seen the videos that I've been in, you can definitely tell that I talk about whatever the fuck I want. And so I've had my fair share of videos that I've been cut out, and it fucking sucks. Here, really quick, I'm just going to talk about this comment right here about the Fine Brothers. To get this out of the way, the Fine Brothers are very, very nice people. By far. I've never had a bad experience with them to me. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but on my end, they have always been kind and respectful and seriously great people. It's when it came to the company itself that things were really starting to go downhill. When I joined Kids React when I was 11, they gave me a chance, and I had an amazing time. It was a good little, not even a job, it was just a fun thing to do, maybe on the weekends. The problem started arising when the Fine Brothers kind of started leaving behind the camera stuff to focus on the company itself. And even still then, the company was doing great. It was doing financially well. It was in, like, the peak of their YouTube career back in, like, 2017, 2018, with all of the content that they were making. It was seriously great. There was just trouble behind the scenes with producers and editors and all that kind of stuff. I don't know the details of it because I was only on the recording end of it, but from what I've heard, it wasn't really the best conditions to be working there. And little by little, I started seeing people leave, and I was kind of sad about it because they were my friends. And a lot of the producers were really, really kind. I really loved working with them when working at Fine Brothers. I think the biggest shift in the company was around quarantine when everybody really started leaving due to the blackface allegations that were going on. This did in fact happen, and it was around the time of the Black Lives Matter movement. This seriously impacted the company, and from there, the Fine Brothers stepped down as CEOs from the company and left. They completely left, and they sold the company. And because so many people left in that short amount of time during quarantine, the channel just started going downhill. The production quality wasn't as good. They had so many channels. They had the Try Not To channel, which they also sold to a different little company, which completely bombed. It looks atrocious compared to some of the earlier videos on that channel. They went through major rebranding, major changes in the company because they needed to change something to get views up. In the meantime, there's a small group of us, a small group of reactors that stayed with the company since we've started. We haven't left because it's still fun to us. We still have fun making videos and making content with this channel. And some channels nowadays, with the Fine Brothers, or React as it's now rebranded as, they did a lot of rebranding. They did really well, seriously really well. Like People vs. Food, that is airing right now on YouTube. Seriously, some good content, and I absolutely love it, especially because I get to try a lot of the food. I may or may not have gotten a few things wrong because I don't know the full story, but overall, I've really enjoyed my time on the channel. I may or may not want to go in depth on this, so please, just if you have any comments, please let me know. I'd very much like to make a whole YouTube video on this.
After all the videos came out and the channel started dying, the Fine Bros sold the company before it was worth $0. The channel still has over 20 million subscribers, but it's pretty upsetting that Benny and Rafi sold the company and probably got about $1 million, if not even more. And because they were never on camera, they could walk around every day with people not even knowing who they are. The channel as a whole kind of moved away from reactions, and it's a shell of its former self, only getting about 100,000 views per video, which 100,000 views is kind of a lot, especially for my size, but it's not for somebody who has like 20 million subscribers. I feel like the Fine Bros got off scot-free, which is kind of disturbing and kind of sad at the same time. I feel like they should have definitely, I don't know, I feel like it would be wrong to say like, oh yeah, we have to band together and like really make their life ruined, because that's not what I mean. But I think that they should have gotten more or been held accountable for their actions and should have gotten that money that they sold the company for and put it towards something, donated it somewhere. They should have done something. But since they left the company, there has been like crickets. Nobody knows where they've went. Nobody knows what they're doing. And it seems like they're living a good life because they just were never on camera. So they were just able to get away with it. But how do you feel about the Fine Bros and their content, or what their content used to be? I'd like to know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, you might as well leave a like on the video and hype it up. Also, subscribe to the channel to never miss any future uploads. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.